Yo,
We are Brooke and Sid.
and we're talking BS.
Belief systems, of course. Thoughts create our realities, and we are passionate about creating better thoughts.
Join us as we figure out life from the inside out. Figure out what's holding you back and how to get out of your own way. Come join us as we talk BS.
Hello, legends.
Yo! Welcome back to
Sid.
another episode of Talking BS with your hosts, Brooke and Sid.
How are you all?
Hope you're all having a wonderful day.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for
That's my
being
dog
here.
walking in the background.
Yeah.
Cedar.
Featuring Cedar in today's episode.
Hop on the mat.
Hop on the mat, Seed.
Drop.
Yeah, she's beautiful. And you'll meet Cedar at one point, guaranteed.
Yes.
Cedar gets it.
She does.
She's on a higher level.
She does.
Like she understands patience.
all animals get what we're talking about
Yeah.
today.
So shout out to all of our animal listeners out there and for being such amazing
Thanks to all the
supporters.
magpies. Thanks to all the plovers. Thanks to all the fish. Our biggest fans. Thank you so much.
Yeah, they are our biggest teachers as well. Today's episode
Yes.
is about living in the unknown.
Yes. And a new segment we're going to be doing every episode is
I don't know if I can hear that. I tried to put in a scary sound, but it didn't quite work.
no.
No.
I'll do it.
There we go.
DIY scary sounds.
Yeah.
Every episode, what we're going to do is we're going to start off with an underlying BS that we're going to tackle today. I think this makes it a little bit more individualized.
And direct, you know
Yes.
exactly what
Yes.
this is about. And if you feel a resistance or some kind of trigger from the BS we're about to throw your way,
Then this episode is for you.
For shout.
Yeah. So if I state to you right now, everyone, that living in the unknown is scary, if you agree with that, then that's what we're here to change. This is the underlying BS we want to change. Because this is, well, I'm going to speak from personal experience. I look at that, living in the unknown is scary, and I say, yeah, it is.
Yeah, so
So
many
I
of
know
us
this
do.
for me is a topic that I'm currently working on, and
Yep.
I want to share stuff that I do. Do you find the unknown scary?
no.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Yeah.
Love that. I don't find
or-
physical, like go with the flow. I'm a go with the flow kind
Yeah.
of girl, but unknown as in not using the past or the future to predict what comes next is scary.
Well, look, I'll say this. When I said no, I know, like right now,
Yeah.
I don't. But
No.
I have caught myself falling into that BS.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with these BSs, that it's not like a binary system, like you have it and you shatter it and you don't have it.
No.
Some of them can be, but some of them you can like keep revisiting.
Yeah.
You know, and if you have the tools to break out of that BS,
Mm-hmm.
that's the goal.
And this is where you find them.
Talking BS.
Hell.
Oh, yes.
So that's what we're tackling today, everyone. Underlying BS, living in the unknown is scary.
Correct. And we're going to dispel that belief system.
Yeah, and we're
shatter
going to
it
show
for
you what's on the other side of that too.
Yeah. So let's take it from the top.
Yeah.
What is living in the unknown? Define it.
Living in the unknown is the state
Hmm.
where you are not in the familiar past or the predictable future.
Yo.
So it's a state of being where
Yeah.
you feel calm
Yeah.
with not knowing what happens next,
Yeah.
either based on the familiar past, so experiences that you've had before,
Yep.
or the predictable future, which is based on what you've experienced before.
That's, yeah.
Yeah,
Based on your past.
it's almost like waking up going, I have no idea what's going to happen today.
And being excited by it.
Yes, not like, and
Yeah.
it's not, oh, I have to go to work today and it's going to take so much effort. How do you know that? It's because you're living in the past.
Yes.
And that will create more of the future because we're vibrational beings.
Yep.
So if you're on the vibration of remembering the past, which is just a memorized set of emotions based on experiences that you felt in the past,
Yep.
that gives yourself, your current state of being, a vibrational frequency which the environment responds to by giving you more of that stuff.
And you'll keep seeing more of that stuff.
Holy, when did I get so smart? Wow. Okay, Joe Dispenza, let's go.
This girl out. Oh, Brooke Tomo in the house. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And if you can recognize, so the main goal for today is to give you some tools to recognize these moments in your life.
Yes.
Because if you can recognize the BS, then you can get awareness. And that's the first step. Once you have awareness, then you can actually work on shattering that BS, changing the BS, doing whatever you need to do to that BS.
Yes.
So I think a lot of people, and this is going to resonate with a lot of people, because we tend to use the past, the familiar past, to protect us. You know, we're trying to use it as a mechanism to help ease our future. And we think that by recollecting that familiar past, like you said, there's going to be traffic on my way to work or
Yeah.
anything. If we think that's going to change the set of behaviors that's going to improve our future.
Yeah.
Right? But all
Yeah.
you've done is you've created a mindset where you're going to see that traffic on your way to work. You're
Yeah.
going to be, and that traffic or the negative things that you've put in front of you to try to avoid, because you are just reliving the past,
Yeah.
they're going to trigger the same emotions in you when you face them in this future that you've got ahead of you.
Yeah, the universe reacts.
Yeah.
The universe is a real thing.
Yup.
And we know this because it's scientifically proven. It's quantum physics. Have you ever read the book The Secret?
Do it.
The law of attraction is as real as the law of gravity, and I've said this before.
Yeah.
It's a law. It's
Absolutely.
a universal law.
Yeah.
And the law of attraction works on whatever your current state of being is.
Yeah.
If that's, gosh, I got to go early because I don't want to hit the traffic that I hit yesterday and that I hit the day before.
Yeah.
You're going to get more traffic.
Yeah. Because you're putting that out to the universe.
Yeah.
Yep. And I think the goal for this little episode is to invite you guys to live in the realm of possibility. Because that's what the unknown is.
Yeah.
The unknown is, like you said, it's a predictable future. By you going, this is the predictable future, you're not open to the realm of possibility. You've said to the universe, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Good, bad, or ugly.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're open to the possibility and then your relationship to that possibility is one of positive emotion, if you're excited by it,
Yeah.
if you're curious about it,
Yeah.
if you're bewildered by it,
Yeah.
and you let yourself stay in this space of like just positive bewilderment,
Yeah.
then it allows space for magic to happen
Yeah.
and your best possible outcome to actually come to fruition.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well said.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, and I feel like if you wake up feeling a specific type of negative emotion, an emotion is just a reaction to experience.
Yeah, absolutely. And the human brain, and we've come back to this before, the monkey brain,
Yeah.
that really primal animal brain of ours is that fight, flight, or freeze,
Yeah.
is wired to protect us.
Yeah,
It's
so-
the survival mode.
Yeah, I don't want anyone to sit and listen to these things and go, oh my God, I'm so dumb. I can't believe I've been doing that the whole time.
No.
It's normal.
Yeah, absolutely.
If anything, good on you.
Yeah.
You're one step ahead because you're listening to something like this.
Yes.
Where we're here to help you change it,
Yeah.
And like, we're not priests. We're not good
Nah.
at this stuff. We're not amazing.
I
but
feel
like
my
we-
monkey brain kick in all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, all the time.
And it's just it's being aware of what those
Yeah.
animalistic thoughts are. If it's a fight, flies, or freeze moment, if it's a reaction as opposed to a response, but a reaction to not a real fear.
Yeah.
And we've got an episode on fear and what those things are as well. Have a listen
Yes.
to that. That
Yeah.
goes into the lion walking into the room versus, humiliation or
Yeah.
those fears that don't really result in immediate death.
Yeah, yeah.
Where the animal brain doesn't need to protect you. It's in those moments of awareness of going, this moment is a time that I don't need this part of my brain.
Yeah.
And this belief system that this part of my brain is throwing out isn't serving me. And so we're inviting you to feel those moments, still have those moments because we do.
Yeah.
But feel those moments, have the awareness that that's what that moment is, and then face that belief system.
Yeah. Now, the underlying BS, living in the unknown, is scary. For me, this is sort of how I put the word scary. So I think the unknown can be scary because you feel unequipped to deal with potential problems. But potential problems only exist because you are living in the familiar past.
Yeah.
You only know of these problems as a possibility
Yeah.
because you've lived them.
Yeah. So you're looking out for them again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to feel like that again, which goes into what you said about how we're motivated.
Oh, being by fear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that part. I was
Yeah.
like, I've said
I was
so
like,
much today.
What?
Yeah, as human beings, we're wired to be motivated by avoiding fear more than being motivated by experiencing love.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, at the core of it, we all want to experience love.
Yeah.
But it's that really primal instinct, rather than allowing us to seek the possibility that that great positive possibility where we can experience love. That primal instinct wants to protect us and hits that survival mode.
Yeah.
So when something fearful steps in, we're more likely to act.
Yeah, and think about it like, how often are people scared to get into relationships after a breakup?
Yeah.
Because the first thing they think about is protecting themselves and being, I'm scared.
Reliving.
I'm scared
I don't
want to
relive those same.
Yeah, that's just creating more of the same.
Yeah, I guarantee you'll keep reliving that
Yeah.
same stuff.
Yeah.
What I wanted to talk about as well is some of the situations or, life positions or experiences where living in the unknown has appeared scary. Because this might be you. You know, you might be listening to this going, Sid, I've just lost my job.
Yeah.
You know, I need to put a roof over my family's head. I don't know where my food's coming from. Like, how can you tell me that living in the unknown isn't scary?
Yeah.
Because I
need to know these
I need
things.
to know these
Yeah.
things. In that situation, like that is a dire situation, but where you have a choice as to where you put your energy. You know, where your focus flows, your energy goes. And if you're focusing on the negative, if you're focusing on the problem, you're only going to see more of that problem.
Yeah.
That's you being motivated by the fear. And this work isn't, we say this every week, I feel. This
Every
work
week.
isn't easy,
No.
but it's simple.
Yeah.
It really is simple.
And it does take work and it does take
It does.
time.
Yep.
Like I wouldn't say work, but it takes consistency.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
practice.
Training.
Yeah.
For sure. Like it's like any other muscle. To be able to see the world this way, like I didn't wake up one morning
No.
and was like, or at like a young age was like, yep, this is how the world is.
Yeah.
And people often, I've had friends turn around to me and go, oh, Sid, but that always happens to you, or you're so
Yeah,
lucky, or
yeah.
I'm like, I've worked on this.
Yeah.
And if you
This is a
do
daily
the work,
practice.
yes, daily
Yeah.
practice. If you do the work, if you show up for yourself,
Yeah.
I guarantee you can change your own BS.
It's almost like seeing an obese person one day really fit, like after a year or
Yep.
so of not seeing them, being like, that was easy for you.
Yeah.
Like, no, it actually took a lot of work.
Yeah,
It's the
effort.
same thing. It's training a muscle. Your brain is a muscle.
Absolutely. And it comes down to something we were having a chat about before, slightly different, but you know, change requires two things. Change requires capability
Yeah.
and willingness.
Yeah.
So we all have the capability to do this work.
Yeah.
The question is, how badly do you want it? How addicted are you
Yeah.
to your negative stories? How addicted are you to your fears?
How much do you use the external environment to reinforce that too?
Yes.
Oh, but
Yeah.
it's because of this. Like,
Yeah.
I can't think that way because of this.
Yep.
All we're going to say is, okay.
Cool. That's your choice. You've in that moment, you've demonstrated a lack of willingness to change.
Yeah,
Because if
that's
you
all that
wanted
is.
it bad enough, if you
Yeah.
wanted the change bad enough, I guarantee you would find a way
Yeah.
to flip that script.
Yeah. I can't think this way because I got so many red lights on the way to work.
Yep.
We actually see red lights too, everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
We
Everyone-
are actually, we get stuck in queues as well.
Yep. Yep.
You
and
know,
it's
like
your
it happens to everyone. You're not more special than anyone else. All you're doing
your
is
precious
saying,
little snowflake.
Yeah,
all,
far out.
every other precious little snowflake.
Yeah.
So all we're inviting you to do, especially in this episode, is to be enticed by the unknown. So if you find
Or don't.
yourself, or don't, if you
Yeah.
find yourself, living in that fear,
Yeah.
if you find yourself being governed by your external circumstances and your emotions being controlled by if your personality is being created by a personal reality, you are in a victim mindset. So if you find yourself in that space, what can you do? So this podcast, this episode, is to hopefully give you a couple of tools where, one, you can recognize that happening, and two, you can flip your script to start to look at that future as a future of possibility,
Yeah.
rather than a predictable future of negative repeated outcomes.
and this is the thing. We're going to give you a few tools, a few how-tos.
Yep.
And you can say, the first one that we're going to give you is journaling. And you can say, yeah, but I don't have time.
Yeah.
Okay, like we're not here to try and make the time for you.
No.
That's your willingness coming into play.
100%. How badly
We're
do
just
you want
giving
it?
you the tools.
Yep.
How you react to the tools that
Yep.
have been proven to work
Yeah,
by
absolutely.
so many people.
Yeah. We were going to interview them all, but
Yeah.
it was it's going to take too long. We just didn't have the time.
You know, but like it all comes down to your willingness, how you perceive these tools,
Correct.
right?
And this is where the motivation comes as well. If you're comfortable in the fear cycle that you're in, you're going to sit in it.
Babe, stay
It's-
there.
yeah,
Like if that's a you thing, you want to keep that limitation, keep it.
If you fight for it, you get to keep it.
Yeah.
If you are uncomfortable by the circumstance you're in and you want it to change, I guarantee you'll find the willingness. You'll find the time. You won't find the time, sorry. You'll make the time.
Yeah.
To apply some of these tools and see how they work in your
Yeah,
life.
time is never lost.
No.
You don't have to find 3 p.m.
No.
It'll come.
It's coming anyway, whether you like it or not.
Yeah. This is how, if you make
Yeah.
space at 3 p.m. to do it or not.
So one of the tools we've already spoken about, we spoke about this earlier, is the awareness.
Are you sick of us saying that yet?
Nah, I will never. Oh, I'm going to get it tattooed across my forehead.
I should at this rate,
Yeah,
hey? Because the amount of
awareness.
times I pull myself up on... So this is what happens in my head. I'll be just thinking about something that happened in the past. And I'll be like, actually, stop that.
Yeah.
And I'll be silent for a second. I'm like, oh yeah, so tomorrow when I... Stop it.
Yeah.
Shut up. That's how addicted I am.
Yep.
Like I'm an addict,
Yep.
proper.
But you know.
But I'm willing to
Yes.
change. And it's every single time I pull myself up on that. Because we have something like 80,000 thoughts a day.
It's a lot.
Yeah, I'm constantly saying no to
I reckon
myself.
I probably have a good 12.
Yeah, right. Male and female. But, you know, every time I say no to myself,
Yeah.
it's just building that willingness as
Yeah.
well. It's not building the willingness, it's building the resilience
Yeah.
to the addictive BS.
Yep.
It's
Absolutely.
like every time a cigarette addict says no to putting a cigarette in their mouth,
Yep.
they're becoming,
Stronger against that addiction.
they're becoming a stronger non-smoker.
Yep.
I'm becoming a stronger no past, no present. I mean, no past, no,
No
future.
future. Yeah, yeah. Being stronger, being in the present.
Yes.
And so step one is just generating awareness.
Yes.
That little conversation you have, that little voice in your head that goes, stop it.
Yeah.
That's the awareness.
Well, that's, yeah,
and
it is.
that allows you to then step into the next phase.
Yeah.
So once you have the awareness, like you said, step two, you bring yourself to the present. So when you bring yourself to the present, because you know what, living in the scariness of the future, the scariness of living in the unknown is living in that, you know, predictable future. So, or repeating the past. So the second you bring yourself to the present, you can fight both of those. Those don't
Yeah.
exist. Past
Yeah.
and future do not exist. What are some of the things you use to bring yourself to the present?
What do I use? I like to... So there's always voices in our heads, right? And it's so funny because I read something, it was like, if you see someone talking to themselves on the street, you say they're crazy. The only difference between you and them is that they're saying it out loud.
They're just responding.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah. He's just physically moving his lips, but
At
you're doing the
least
same
he's having
thing.
a conversation
Yeah.
with him. We just let them talk to us
Yeah.
and just believe what they say.
Yep. But yeah, the thing I do is I really make space for stillness.
Yeah.
I know stillness is presence in myself because it's, if I'm not being defined by that voice, I'm being defined by nothing. And the
Yeah.
nothing is the unknown.
Yeah. You're sitting with the unknown.
Yeah, I'm making sure that my mind doesn't actually do anything because that's, you either are controlled by your mind or you control your mind.
Yeah.
And I want to control my mind. I want to have a mind where I can just switch off.
Yeah.
Because that is proven. That's where healing happens, when your mind's relaxed, when you're in like alpha brainwaves. Because we're constantly in beta brainwaves, right? Where we just always think about that, think about this.
Yep.
I mean,
Chaos.
life is crazy.
Yeah.
2022, there's a lot going on.
Yep.
We just survived a world pandemic.
Whew.
So to pull yourself up, and I don't necessarily go, what can I do right now? Because I don't want to have to rationalize with my external environment. I want to
Yeah.
be able to be sitting in chaos
Yeah.
and be able to still, you know, be present.
'Cause
And
that's within you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that for me is stillness in the mind.
Yeah.
It's making sure that I can sit with no thoughts wherever I am.
Yep.
So I don't really have any tools except for being aware
Yep.
of what my thoughts are doing and making sure I have none of them
Yeah.
at all times that I can.
I think it's something we were talking about before, though, to get us into that space, because sometimes people struggle with the stillness.
Yeah.
Is we did an episode on five senses, and we were talking about how five senses can, you know, often distract you from your knowing.
Yeah.
But if you use those tools wisely, you can actually use those five senses to bring you into the present. So the whole like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1
Yeah.
trick, where you know you list 5 things you can see, 4 things you can hear, 3 you can smell, 2 you can taste,
Yeah.
1 you can feel, like, or you know, however. But in that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, by using your 5 senses, it's allowing you to drop into what's happening right now. So it pulls your brain out of worrying about what's happening in 5 minutes time
Yeah.
or the future, or worrying about the past.
Yep.
So that brings you to a place where when you're in that moment, you can then sit in stillness.
Yeah.
Another one is breath. So I use this for when I drop into meditation, even just, you know, as you do your deep breathing, inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your mouth, just feeling the temperature of the air, feeling how cold it is coming in through your nostrils and how warm it is going out. That suddenly brings me to a state of complete stillness, because that's all I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
And that helps me enter a state of meditation.
Yeah.
away from the noise,
Yeah.
away from everything else.
Yeah. And so many people struggle to sit in silence.
Yep.
Guess what? Why? Because it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because it's unknown.
Yep.
Because we're so programmed to think about the future, to think about the past.
Yep.
Because we think it's going to help us, but it's
do.
not.
We do. It's being excited by the unknown. So we spoke about journaling.
Yeah.
Journaling is a really good way to become conscious of some of your subconscious programming, because you may find stuff you're getting out of your things you're feeling that you're like, oh, I don't know, I was feeling that way.
Yeah.
But then once you've done that, once you're aware of it, we don't want you to repeat that, repeat that past again. So once
Yeah.
you're aware of it, if there are things there that you want to break,
Yeah.
another thing we encourage you to do is doing vision boarding or
Yeah.
some kind of future planning where you're planning for your best possible outcome.
Yeah.
That's different from like the predictable future that we create from fear. And now playing in that realm allows us to be motivated from love.
Yeah. And because you might put things on there that you can't afford at the moment,
Yep.
or things on there that almost seem unreachable, that's a good thing, because it means it's unknown to you.
Yeah.
Because if you feel like you can't attain something, that means that you don't know what it feels like to attain it.
Yeah.
It's the unknown.
In that projection as well, it's also releasing yourself from the how.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's part of embracing the unknown.
Yeah.
Going, this is the future that I see.
Yeah.
I'm going to, I believe we're co-creators.
Yeah,
We're
absolutely.
co-creators with the universe, right?
Yeah, yeah.
We have to allow some space for magic to happen. It's
Yeah.
not on us to figure out how.
No, it's
'Cause-
actually, we shouldn't try
Yeah.
to. Yeah.
I love that there's that quote that, you know, if you want to make God laugh, just tell him your plan.
Yeah.
You know, whether you're religious or not, well, you know, whatever your higher power or not, but if you're setting these plans in stone in a way that you're not flexible to co-create with the universe, I can almost guarantee that'll end in disappointment.
Yeah.
Because if you're so attached to how it happens and it doesn't happen that way,
Yeah.
and your self-worth or, you know, your happiness is linchpin, is like pegged onto that thing,
Yeah.
then that's a surefire way of reaching disappointment.
Yeah. And
Whereas-
I've got about like 6 different books here.
Yeah.
That all point towards how out of the equation,
Yep.
because that's a universe thing.
Yeah. So what I've learned in that forward-thinking projection
Yeah.
and living in that realm of possibility,
Yeah.
in, you know, living with
Manifestation,
the
really.
unknown,
Yeah.
living in manifestation, is that the universe speaks to us
Yep.
through our intuition. And that's the
Yes, yes,
language
yes.
that it kind of pulls us in.
Gut
Some of
feelings.
us, gut feelings, yeah. Some of us are really good at listening to it, some of us are not.
Yeah.
But like everything else, your ability to listen to that voice can be trained.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can get better at recognizing that voice and acting on that voice.
Yep. Hunch. Hunch,
So
bruh.
hunch. So I worked on this
Yeah, great.
actively. So I realized that I had an intuitive pull, but I felt like I wasn't listening to it. So I started doing small things,
Small things.
making micro decisions that were gut feel decisions. So, you know, I'd be driving to someone's house, but then suddenly something with thought would drop into my head or like a feeling would drop into my gut to be like, oh, just take a left here. And I'd take that left.
Great.
Still, I know all roads lead to where I'm going.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, but I would just, you know, trust my intuition.
Yeah.
Just so that it was almost like a conversation between my conscious mind and my subconscious intuitive feeling, when my conscious mind was going, yeah, I'm listening to you.
Yeah.
So keep giving me signals.
Yeah.
Keep talking to me.
Yeah.
And what I found is the more I did that, the more I don't think my intuition was talking to me any more or less, but I just started listening to it more.
Yeah.
And so I would train it doing these small micro decisions. I used to go out and, you know, if I'm ordering a meal, like going to go get a pizza, rather than think about what flavor I want, I just look at the menu. I still do this today. I look at the menu. The first thing that jumps out at me, bang, that's the thing I'm getting.
Yeah. Cool.
I'm not going to overthink it.
Nah.
No, just trust my intuition and trust
Yeah.
the gut.
Yeah.
That, it seems silly, but I noticed that after a point in time started to allow me to make decisions, bigger decisions from a more intuitive place. I wouldn't be thinking about it. I'd suddenly have a very strong gut feel that I didn't have before. Like, for example, when I had like my crossroads moment when I was
Yeah.
like, do I go follow my dream legal job?
Yeah.
Or do I jump on a cruise ship and go play with SpongeBob
Yeah.
SquarePants for Nickelodeon? Like, my head, my logical brain, everything was like, this is, you know, you've dedicated so much of your life to studying and practicing law. Why would the other thing even be an option? This is a test. You know, this is the universe is testing how badly you want this thing.
Yeah.
But my intuition
Yeah.
knew.
Yeah.
I had this strong gut feel that I couldn't explain that was like, take the ship.
Yeah.
And so I was at that stage. I'd had a few years of sitting with my intuition.
Yeah.
And so I was so ready to listen to it. I was like,
Yeah.
I can't explain why, but I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
And this is the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And then it was reaffirmed when 3 months into that contract.
Yeah.
Dad sent me a news article saying that the firm I was going to work for, the company I was going to work for, had gone bankrupt.
Yeah.
So that job didn't exist. I would have been, last in, first out sort of thing. And it was just this beautiful affirmation of just the universe knowing what was right.
Yeah.
And me listening to that.
Yeah.
Of me in that moment living in the unknown and living in the excitement of I'd never worked on a ship before. I'd never, this was a job in another country that I'd none of that had I ever experienced before.
Yeah.
But I was so excited to live in that unknown because I'd trained myself to do it.
I almost think, do you think if you wouldn't be presented with an opportunity you weren't meant to take?
Yeah, I feel that.
Like you were presented with two. There was, Cedar's dream barking. CD.
She's agreeing. She's joining in. We've got to get a third mic for her.
Yeah, if you're presented with an opportunity where you're like, that's bizarre.
Yeah.
Take it.
Take it.
Do it.
Yep. Live in that unknown. And the funny thing is, you can choose not to. You could see that same thing as being scary, right?
Yeah.
Because it's unknown.
Yeah. It's like when I was sitting at my desk and I was working 9 to 5 and I had, a stable income, or it was like, here's a course that you can't afford and you'll have to move 8 hours away from your whole family and you don't know anyone down there and you actually don't even know how to dance. I was like, I bet.
Done. That sounds right.
That, for me, it felt like I always loved dancing. I was like,
Yep.
I'm just going to try.
Yeah.
I mean, why not?
Why not? You got nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. Be safe if you want and
Yeah.
stay in a 9 to 5 that you don't like.
Yeah.
Feel safety.
Absolutely. What I love about the unknown is that we often think about how things could go wrong.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But things could go right beyond your wildest dreams.
Yeah.
Like beyond what you think is possible. It
And
could
it's
go
only how
so
you
right.
perceive too.
Yeah.
Like it could
There's
go wrong
no-
or it could go right.
There's no one thing that's more likely to happen than the other, but we put on it's like we're placing a bet.
Yeah.
We're placing odds on we're putting odds on how this is going to go.
Yeah.
Without any actual knowledge.
No.
We're
You haven't lived it before.
No,
you haven't
you
lived
haven't.
this day
You're-
before.
Exactly.
And you'll never live it again.
Ever.
But you're living it as if you've already experienced it
Yep.
because you've lived before.
Yep. You're placing those odds based on the past experience you've had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you don't like where you're at now,
What do you think got you there?
stop it then.
Flip it. Flip that script. Get awareness, be present, and change the BS.
Yeah. That's our message for you today.
A BS that I want to just throw out there, one last one, is, and I talk about this heaps, the freestyle mentality.
Yeah.
So Brooke and I both grew up as freestyle dancers. We just loved doing it. We loved moving to music. And I created a lot of, probably the way my brain's wired, I don't know if you feel the same, because of the way I danced.
Yeah.
So as a freestyler, whatever music plays in the club, or whatever music the DJ drops,
yeah.
you just dance to.
Yeah, you just boogie.
You just boogie.
Yeah.
In trust and faith that, you're there enjoying it.
Yeah.
I'm not dancing stressed.
No.
I'm not in the club being like, oh,
God, this Destiny's Child coming next. Oh my God. Do I have a compo ready for that?
yeah. And this was such a strong analogy for life.
Yeah.
Because really, we're all dancing on this dance floor, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
The universe is the DJ and it's dropping some fire.
You know what a song I actually have come across that I really like? Is
Yeah.
God is a DJ by Pink.
Oh,
God is a
Yeah.
DJ, life is a dance floor.
ain't that the truth though?
Yeah.
Ain't that the truth? And there are people out there who are desperately trying to bust out some choreography. And if you're so wedded to your choreography and suddenly the song changes and your choreography doesn't go to that
If you're
song,
doing hip hop with a Billie Eilish mix,
mate,
it's probably not going to
you're
work.
going to struggle.
Yeah.
You're going to struggle. So, and I'm just going to, we saw this happen through COVID. You know,
Yeah.
people's narrative was that I am my job.
Yeah.
Yep. So that was the choreography that they were running. That was the story they were running. Suddenly that job disappeared and their identity was lost. What I think what helped me navigate through that whole tumultuous time was my ability to freestyle and the way my brain was wired to respond to whatever stimulus came my way
Yeah.
in full confidence that I would hit the beat.
Yeah. That was Sprinkle stretching in the background.
Perfect.
But yeah, no, totally.
Yeah.
The unknown is scary if you want it to be.
Yep. And all we're asking you to do is to look at that differently.
Yeah. Or don't.
Or don't.
The choice is yours.
Absolutely.
But we just put it out here.
Yep.
Follow along or don't.
Choice
Stay
is
in
yours.
the past or don't.
Yep.
Manifest some cool stuff or don't.
Yep.
That's how you do it.
We're just going to ask you to live in the unknown. Sit in
Yeah.
it for a present and be excited
And
by
see
it.
what happens.
See what happens.
See
how
what
that
fruit
feels.
blossom.
Yeah.
But it's not going to happen tomorrow.
Nope.
It takes work.
It does.
It takes time.
It takes time. It takes consistently showing up.
It does.
It does. And on that note, team, we're going to love and leave you. Thank you so much for listeing.
Thank
Have a great
you.
day. Bye.
See you next time.